Hey, what's going on? Um, I said I would come on at 7 because I have plans tonight. God, it was New Year's Eve. I didn't really forget, but um, I figured people would watch the replay anyway. But because I promised that I would do it on a Monday, um, I said I would come on here Mondays at 8. But since it's New Year's Eve, I know people are not going to be here on 8. Hi, Nicole. How are you doing? So I decided to just do it at 7, and if people are available at 7, then they'll watch it, and then but I'm sure everybody's going to be doing some kind of festivities tonight. So just watch the replay, and then you can ask questions on the comments, and then I'll do like a makeup video if there's some questions attached to it. So Tiffany asked, how did I start my business? What are the steps? So I'm not a businesswoman. I am a professional professor. I have no degrees in business, but I did start my own business. So I'll just give my points and my steps, and of course you can consult other people who have a little bit more experience than me. But I started my business in September of 2017. It is called Phenomenal STEMist. Check out my Facebook page for Phenomenal STEMist. You're welcome, Nicole. Of course, I just want to share. I want people to get different perspectives so they can better their own lives. So number one, what was the first step? The first step was to find my spiritual gift. Found out my spiritual gift. When I get a chance, I'll upload the file. There's a nice test that really tells you what you are gifted in, what you are, your purpose for in life is. And I found out my spiritual gift was teaching, and I do that as a career, but I'm really good at it. So the first thing you have to know is, what are you really good at? You shouldn't start a business in something that you're not good at. And if you don't know what you're good at, you can't start a business. So take the spiritual gift test. It's really good. And when I found that out, I said, okay, I'm going to do something having to do with teaching. Okay. Hi, Daphne. What's up, Eric? Number one, find out your spiritual gift. That was number one. Suppose you came in a little late. Find out what you're good in, and then just do that. Somehow create a business that pertains to what you are gifted in. That's what I did. I'm not saying this is what people should do, but that's what I did. All right, number two, I had to make a decision what type of business that I wanted to create. So, as I said before, I'm not a businesswoman. I wouldn't even call myself an entrepreneur. I am a professor full-time, and I don't plan to not be a professor anytime soon. So I knew that my business had to be my side hustle. But I wanted to somehow incorporate it. I didn't want it to be just a side hustle. Why? For tax purposes. You can have a hobby and make money off of it, or you can create a business and make money off it and have tax deductions. And I chose the latter. And so there are different types of businesses. There's the sole proprietorship. There's the LLC. I'm not even going to say what they are, but limited liability corporation, right? Single LLC, and then there's like this partnerships. There's S corporate. There's all kinds of different types of businesses, and you have to decide what you want to do. What I decided to do was to begin with a sole proprietorship. I'm thinking about doing an LLC a little bit later, but right now it's my side hustle. And so it's the easiest type of business to do my own taxes. I'm not making a lot of money as yet, and my business is not risky, which would cause me to be sued. Okay, so a sole proprietorship is a business in which you're doing business as something, another name under your same household, so that if you cause some kind of harm to somebody, they can sue you, and your house, they can literally get your house if they win the lawsuit. So it's the riskiest type of business. I wouldn't stay there for long, especially if you're going to do something that puts you at risk for lawsuits. But it's the simplest uh, form for me. So that's why I did the sole proprietorship. But LLC is another good one, that is easy taxes. Like I can do. So when you look at your taxes, there's different types of tax forms that you have to use. And so when you own your own business, you have to get the premium. If you do your own taxes, I do my own taxes, the premium level where you do get a Schedule C form. You can get a limited liability corporation, LLC, and still do, your own taxes on a Schedule C. So it's pretty simple as well. But once you get to the higher levels of businesses, partnerships and S corporations and all that stuff, it gets more complicated. You require lawyers. You require, it's just, I'm not making that much money not right now at least. So I start small, and as the risk get higher, I go to the next level, LLC, and so on. So step 1, find out what you're good at and do that. Step 2, choose the type of business that works for you. Step 3, look for the checklist in starting a business in your state. So, and in your city and in your county. All right. So there's several types of requirements that different cities and counties and states have. And so if you go to your chamber of commerce, or you go to some kind of community development center in your community, they actually, if you click on a link, they'll tell you, click on something, starting your own business in the city of Apopka. For instance, I live in Apopka. So the city of Apopka has a development center where you click on that website and they give you a checklist as to what you need to start a business in Apopka, for instance. So I needed a business tax receipt, one for both the city and the county. Then I had to go to sunbiz.org in Florida. That's the state website in starting a business in Florida. And then I had to fill out forms, a doing business as form. In order to do that, I had to take an ad out in a newspaper in the area. All these things have costs, but they're not high level costs. Like I started the business with maybe, I think $200. $200. All the fees come, as you know, as you get higher levels of businesses, it costs more. So like the LLC, the fee is like $130 versus the sole proprietorship was, I think, was $75, something like that. So it costs money to start a business, even if it's the new minimum payment, but it's worth it. It's worth it in my opinion. But it's not for, you can't just get up and start a business. You have to fill out lots of forms that have to do with the taxes as well as the county requirements to make sure that whatever you're doing in that area, you can do. It's zoned for that. So zoning matters. So step number 1, I found out what my spiritual gift was. Step number 2, I chose the type of business I wanted to create. Hey, Brenda. Hi, Andrea. Step number 3, I look for the checklist in my state. Okay, so Nicole says in Maryland, it costs to maintain an LLC $300. See, so you have to think about the state you live in. My state, it doesn't cost that much. It's like $130 to maintain for Florida. But Maryland, as you know, it's a big state. It's a rich state. So I can totally see that. So yeah, it costs money to build and maintain a business. So if you have to make sure that you create a profit, right? It's not a hobby. That's why I said number 1, know what you're really good at and know that you can make money off of it, worth the investment. Okay. Step number 4. I created a program that had a low overhead. So I told you my spiritual gift is teaching. I decided to create a teaching platform online. So like this is a part of it. Phenomenal. I have a microphone. I go on Facebook Live. I created the business called Phenomenal STEMist, where I'm teaching people something. So I sit in my office and I make videos to teach people different things about science online. All right, that's my first part. I also created an online classroom where I can charge people to teach them how to teach their kids science, technology, engineering, math. So STEM. I'm Phenomenal STEMist. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, math. It's a big term these days, especially for children from the pre-K to 12th grade level. Everybody's trying to get into STEM. So I basically created an online camp where parents would get on this platform, this online classroom, and I give assignments to teach the parents what to do with their kids. Do this on this week, do that next week, etc. So I charge a fee for this class, and the kids love it. So I have different clients, but my classroom is free. I use a Google Classroom. I built a website for I built my own website, phenomenalstemist.com, for I think $13 a month. I created a Zoom platform, so I actually have zoom.com where I can communicate with parents, help kids do their homework. The lowest level charged me $10 a month. So the cost that I incurred, the overhead that I have, is about $30 a month. $30 a month. And I'm charging parents a consultancy fee, right? Depending on my consultancy fee is $80, right? An hour. And I create different platforms that have like $80 classes or, $240 classes. So I created a program for a mentorship program for boys, and I charged them a consultancy fee. All of that started to go into my business. So I didn't make a lot of money this year, but I made about, I made 5 figures as I told you guys on Phenomenal Debt Freedom, right? And I only paid, I said $30 a month, right? So 3 times 12, so I paid $360, and I made 5 figures. So all of that profit is going to me. Pretty good. I made some investments this year. I bought a microscope. I bought some things because the first year you don't have to make a profit. So, I invested in my business. So that investment, took away some of that 5 figures. But my point is, I didn't have to make that investment. I just did it in the first year because I'm allowed to not make a profit in the beginning. All right. But it's low overhead. It's low overhead. I created the business last year. So this year I didn't have any business fees, etc. Yeah. So it was good. It was a good year because the business that I do has a very low overhead. So step 1, find out what I'm good at. Step 2, choose the type of business I wanted to create. Step 3, look for the checklist in your state. They want business tax receipts. They want specialized forms, doing business as or LLC forms to maintain that. It costs money. With LLCs, you have to have a board. You have to have, I can't remember, Nicole, what's that? It's a term for a person that you have to go through. I forgot the term. It's a little bit more red tape that you have to deal with when you're dealing with making an LLC, and more cost associated with that. But make sure you know the checklists. Make sure you know what's required for you in your specific state. And really good states have specialized places, small business associations, community development associations, where they have a checklist to tell you what you need to do to start businesses in their city, in their state, in that county, right? And then create a business that has low overhead in the beginning. I just don't believe in, especially amateurs like myself. We're amateurs here. We're not professional entrepreneurs. I just don't think we should put heavy investment in our business, not to the point where we're putting money and we're not making money. Like, you should make money. You should make money as soon as possible, because in the reality, if you're going to try to start working with the IRS, deducting this off of your taxes, you have to, out of 3 out of 5 years, you have to make a profit, right? And you don't want to just be pouring money and then not getting any business, right? So make a profit as soon as possible. In the first year, you can lose, but make a profit as soon as possible. So how do you make a profit? You have to have people buy into your business. So you got to market. You got to market yourself in so many ways. And I feel like I'm failing at that. I'm okay. I can be better, but because I have such a low overhead, I'm not really losing that much, but I'm not becoming, rich off of it. I'm not gaining a lot yet. And I think it's because of my marketing. Right now, my marketing is purely online, social media. I have joined the Chamber of Commerce in my community, where I've met different types of people, and that's always great, but that's at a cost, right? And so I met lots of different people. I've given my business cards to a lot of people. I was invited to a homeschool event because of my networking at the Chamber Conference. So I think it was worth the money that I spent in meeting different groups of people. It's about relationships. And so the homeschooling event gave me lots of parents. I gave my business card to a lot of, parents, because your market, you have to find out who your target is. And my target basically are parents that have children from the pre-K to 12th grade. That's a big market. My best market is homeschool, because homeschooling parents are looking for ways to teach their kids science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I was able to go to an event to market. I'm using Instagram. One thing I love about Instagram is that you can hashtag. And so you hashtag parenting, homeschool. And when you hashtag those things, it pops up on a lot of different people's Instagram page instead. So they see me marketing. I've created a website, as I told you. I created a YouTube channel, Dr. Maya Byfield on YouTube. All of these are different ways that I'm trying to get myself out there. That's the next step in creating a business. And lastly, learn the tax laws when it comes to owning a business. I did not owe last year. I got a refund, and I don't usually get a refund because I told you guys before, I hate tax refunds. I think tax refunds aren't good. But because I started my business and made investments, I started my Zoom account and things like that, that investment and, taking off for my office, which I only use this office for my business. I don't use my office for anything else but promoting Phenomenal, right? So you get write-offs for having a home office. You get different types of write-offs in owning a business. And this year it's going to be serious. The tax law is very supportive of pass-through corporations or pass-through entities like a sole proprietorship, etc. So that's my experience. I've had a good experience so far. You have to know your tax laws. You have to pay your taxes. You have to pay your Social Security. You have to pay your Medicare. But if you make a profit of more than $400. And so, small business when just beginning, you're not really worrying about that much as yet, but it's a start. So it's a multiple stream of income. I made money off of that, right? I was able to write portions of my cable bill off. I was able to write portion of my utilities off just because I started a business. Yeah. Nicole says, another thing with marketing is don't be afraid to ask satisfied customers to give a testimonial and ask them for a referral too. That's right. One of my clients, he's always on Instagram promoting my business. Like, he's promoting my business more than I am. So satisfied customers, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate your comments. Testimonials, referrals, get yourself on sites. I think I tried to get on one of the sites, and I need referrals from different clients. But yeah, that's important. I'm definitely, I think that's what I really need to work on, my marketing. If you guys have any other pointers as to what you think you needed to do to start your business, those were my steps so far. And I haven't lost. Why? Because I'm doing what I love. And doing what I'm really good at. I chose wisely as to what I needed to do to build the business that I wanted to build in my community. I created something that didn't require a lot of money to start off. So I had no pressure to pay back loans, or I started off small and low overhead. And I'm promoting my business in many different ways. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments, and I'll come back in the new year to answer all the questions that you have. I hope that you have a great new year. I want 2019 to be phenomenal. I hope that you're working on your ways of getting out of debt. Don't spend too much. Have a plan, but make this year the year of execution. Write a book, start a business, pay off a credit card, but do something that gives you an increase monetarily. Let 2019 be a great year. I don't think it's going to be an awesome year for the stock market. This is the year of capital preservation. Make that money, save that money, right? Hi, Noble. Thanks for joining. Hey, John, Andrea. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a good night. Happy New Year. I'm a Sabbath keeper, so the sun is already set. So it's actually January 1st already.